Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 100 Marked Rooms, or loot from 100 Marked Rooms. It's super self-explanatory. I ran Marked Room 100 times. I wrote down everything that I got. I compiled it into a list and basically have some statistics and some things you can base your expectations on if you were to run Marked Room. Now, is it more profitable than other rooms per se? I don't really know that yet. I'm planning on running other rooms, but for now, this is the data that I've accumulated from running Customs Marked Room 100 times. Now, I will preface this by saying one quick caveat. This is my experience with the Marked Room. It's not necessarily a guarantee that these percentages are going to hold true or accurate, especially given that the sample size is only 100 Marked Rooms. Of course, that's enough to get a whole percentage number for each instance of something occurring. However, there could be plenty of variation that happens not in just 1 or 100 Marked Rooms. So, without any ado, let's go ahead and get into the numbers here. So, primarily, I classified all of the items I got in Marked Room into several categories. That being primary weapons, secondary weapons, ammunition, barter items, containers, or grenades, since they seem to be enough to have their own category, didn't fit into any other category. So, primary weapons, I constituted anything from SMGs to assault rifles to sniper rifles. Now, I did receive 133 of these. Out of 297 items that I received in total out of Marked Room, primary weapons occurred 133 times. So it is very common, very likely, that you will receive a primary weapon. Now, onto the secondary weapons. I only received about 45 of those, but still, in 100 iterations of Marked Room, 45 pistols is quite a lot. So very common to find those as well. They seem to be good filler items for the loot tables at Customs Marked Room. The third category comes in with ammunition. Now, I picked up 58 instances of ammunition. Obviously, the individual counters for how much ammunition there was way, way higher, but 58 instances in which ammunition was either on the ground or in an ammo case. I did count both, but ammo on the ground is very common in that bottom left corner of the marked circle. Now, the fourth category is barter items. This is including graphics cards or military cables or military filters. Those can occur not super frequently, but they do tend to happen. Now, the graphics card being added to Customs Marked Room is a bit of a newer addition. I did manage to pull 2 of those in the 100 runs, so you can make good money that way. Our fifth category today is the container category. This is going to be anything ranging from your money cases to docs cases to mag boxes. So, overall, during this run, I received 28 of these cases. Now, there is a small part of uncertainty about these cases. There's, obviously there's a chance for high rarity key cards or keys to spawn in docs cases. So I didn't really factor into, any of the calculations what any of the keys I got were, because that's so up in the air. I have no clue what types of percentages those are. So I feel like that would not be accurate at all to try to create statistics for what you could potentially receive out of that said docs case or med case or money case. Moving on to the sixth and final category for this video, it was grenades, and we got 8 of them. I will not waste any more time explaining what that means. Okay, now let's move on to the fun part of the video where we talk about how much money you're going to make. Now, obviously, this room can be challenging. It's a high point of contention on customs. People tend to rush it, so your chance of survival is not necessarily 100%. Even if you're running with a team, good players, you might run into Rashala. It's a bit of a risk, so you have to weigh that in the risk versus reward portion of Customs Marked Room. Now, the average items per room calculated out to be 2.97. So I received 297 items. I ran the room 100 times. All the prices I calculated for this video were calculated at flea market price, based on when I checked the 24-hour average price on tarkovmarket.com on March 23rd of 2021. Now, we all know that the economy right now is really not stable. It's been going up and down, or inflating, or just generally going crazy. So this may be completely different in a month, or 2 months, or 3 months, or a year. And I'm sure that is even true, especially since the last time that Pestily did a video on 100 Customs Marked Rooms, that was a year ago, and weapon cases were in the game and in the loot table. Obviously, that is way, way different. So, now that we've clarified our average items per room at 2.97, we can calculate out all the prices for every single item. I painstakingly did this to get our running average of price per item at 133,189 rubles. So essentially, not everything is going to be worth that much in Marktrum. However, thinking about it as an average is that's basically taking into account if you find a money case which is worth 3 million versus finding a pistol that's worth 10k, that's really going to mess up the average, which is why I included the median as well. The median price per item is 34,805 rubles per item, which makes a lot more sense since it's a lot cheaper. Now, one thing that I will note on the screen right now, this is Marktrum number 46 in my run. It was the only empty Marktrum I've ever run into, so I did count this and factor it in, which is maybe why the averages are a little bit lower, but it is true. I did come across a completely empty Marktrum. I unlocked every single Marktrum myself. I opened the door myself. I was the first one in there. It's all captured on my stream. If you want to check it out, all the VODs are still up on Twitch at GoodKnight_TV. But moving on from here, I'm sure that you all want to just know that big juicy number of how much money am I going to make from running Marktrum 100 times or however many times you want to run it. And that, of course, is still dependent on a little bit of RNG based on how many money cases you get or any other big selling items. For me, for my 100 customs Marktrum runs, all of the items that I received would have totaled up to 39,555,164 rubles. Now again, this was price checked on March 23rd, 2021 for the average 24-hour price on market at tarkovmarket.com. So any disparity we have with numbers there, that's my reference, and we can reference it with something else if we need to in the future. Now, when I say that all the items total up to that amount and not that's how much I made, I'm not factoring in the price of all the gear that I ran or the times that I died with stuff. I did, die with one graphics card. So obviously that was not found in raid, and I did not profit as much money from that as I could have if I had survived and sold it on the flea market. So I'm saying this with a grain of salt. The potential profit for all these runs was 39 million or 39.5 million rubles. So that's just to give you a ballpark of what is potentially possible from running Marktrum. It's good money. I would personally recommend it if you like a little bit of PvP. As you can see in the clip right here, I actually took a bullet to the face while unlocking Marktrum, but we made it out. We got that loot and succeeded in continuing the video there. All right, so wrapping up a couple things here. One thing I did want to talk about was the price of the key. So earlier on in this wipe in 12.9, basically, marked key was about 1 million rubles, and I did purchase some of these early on in wipe. I didn't actually start this challenge until much later, about 3 months later into the wipe, but it was about 1 million. It is now currently about 435,000 rubles. That was the average price according to tarkovmarket.com. I'm just sourcing all of my prices there, so they're all the same. Now, you might ask yourself, is it worth it? And you look at a number like 39 million or 39.5 million, and that seems like a pretty easy answer. And what I will tell you is that, yes, it is 100% worth it. Is it the most profitable room? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I'm hoping that I can figure out that answer as I continue to work through more loot rooms and areas throughout Tarkov on different maps and such. But basically, it is 100% worth it if you want to run it customs. Obviously, a little bit more of a friendlier map. It's more linear, easier to learn than some of the other more complex maps. So if you're newer to the game and want to run something that's maybe higher risk but definitely higher reward, 100% I would recommend Customs Marktrum. Now, if we look at our average price of item per room at 133,000 and the price of the marked key fluctuating between 450,000 and 500,000 rubles, clearly, if you run 4 marked rooms, that average is telling you that you will make a profit. If you find one money case, you have already made profit. So, guys, do what you want. If you want any tips and tricks on how to run marked room or the best routes or most efficient routes, please comment down below. I will try to make a video if you want that. I didn't include that. I just wanted this video to be about the loot. I wanted that to be the focus and goal of this. If you want any tutorials, any guides like that, I can make that, but I didn't want to waste your time with that in this video. So one last thing I will request is that if you guys did enjoy this video, if you liked seeing this data and these metrics, it did take me quite a while to put this together. Obviously, that's partially my fault for not being the best at this game. However, it did take a decent amount of time to get all this data and run these marked rooms. So if you would please subscribe to my YouTube channel, if you would please go follow my Twitch channel, I will drop the links down below. Turn the notifications on, follow my Twitter. I don't have a consistent streaming schedule right now, but I should be pretty consistent about tweeting out when I am streaming. Stream almost every single night, guys. I played Tarkov. I'm working on running other rooms. It's gonna be a blast, guys, so I appreciate y'all. Appreciate any support you put on this video. I'm looking forward to making more content. We'll see more runs, more loot from 100 iterations of, you know, whatever room coming in the near future. Obviously, it does take time to put these together, but I will try to bring them to you as soon as possible. But you can watch me make progress on those challenges and goals live on my stream. So please go check that out, guys. Appreciate y'all. But guys, it was a lot of fun to make this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am going to be working on some other rooms, some locked rooms, keycard rooms, if that. So if you guys have any ideas for what you would like to see me put in the next video, maybe go more into depth in the statistics, I would be happy to take any criticism. Other than that, guys, I don't have anything else for you. I'm not going to waste any more of your time rambling on. Hope you enjoyed the video. 39.5 million rubles. Go knock yourselves out, run some customs marked room.